Never, ever, ever tell your problems to anybody. But luck only changes when you work. If you wait for luck to come to you, it doesn't happen.
Dr. Shaukat. He's lived through war, led soldiers into battle, built a global investment banking career, lost everything he owned, and then, with just $100 and unmatched determination, rebuilt his life from scratch.
So what do you think gave you that confidence and that ability to start from ground zero again? Was it strong faith?
Oh boy.
He trained army officers, generals, coached CEOs, and transformed leaders across continent.
Turtle and the cat, they taught me this lesson that if I have to move forward, I've got to take a risk in life.
With so much happening in one's life, we tend to lose.
This isn't just a story of success.
It's a story of grit, faith,
And insane reinvention.
I would like to be remembered as an officer and a general.
Dr. Shaukat, welcome to Leaders Talk.
Thank you very much for having me here.
It's an honor to have you. Let's begin in this way. I've had the chance to hear parts of your story, and your story has nothing been short of incredible. I mean, from military all the way to investment banking and then to leadership and consulting and training. Your life is full of story. Just tell us, how did your journey unfold? Where did it begin?
Very interesting. Thank you very much for asking me this, because this gives me an opportunity to do a little bit of traveling in time myself. So thank you. I started life literally from the streets, right? I didn't have anything. But after my country went through a civil war and through debacle, I was literally an orphan on the street. And while it was tough, in many ways, it helped me overcome so many adversities as I went along. It toughened me up, let's put it that way, even though at that time, I didn't realize, because I was maybe about 12-year-old. So I didn't realize that all this will eventually help me to become a better person. So that is how I started and where I started. So I moved from what was East Pakistan, became Bangladesh, came to West Pakistan, right? Slept on the streets. And every single day I would say to myself something that my father used to tell me. He would say that it doesn't matter where you begin life from. It's where you end it. That is important. So he would say it, but after he was killed in the Civil War, that thought stayed with me. So all this time that I was there in roughing it up in Karachi, a city called Karachi in Pakistan, the thought never left me. So I would always say to myself that I'm beginning my life from here, but this is not where I'm going to end it. Went into the army because that was coming from an army family. It was quite possibly the most logical thing to do, but I wanted to do it because it was my dad's dream. So I went into the army, had a great career, made some wonderful friends, learned a lot of things. The army is a great learning ground. It teaches you a lot of things, not only military things, but it also teaches you basic etiquettes. It teaches you integrity, teaches you ethics, discipline. So now it depends on you, whether you want to imbibe that, or you want to take it, or you don't want to take it. So I did. I grabbed every opportunity with both the hands. Went into Afghanistan during the Russian occupation, did some action there, did a lot of activity there, came back, was decorated for whatever I did over there. But by that time, we were also fighting at Siachen, which was the highest battlefield on earth. So at 23,000 feet, if you have a post, your eyes freeze. It is so cold. If you touch a metallic object, your hand gets fused to that metallic object, whether it's your rifle or your buckle of your belt. And when you pull it off, the skin and everything comes off with it. It doesn't let go easily. So having been there, done that and spent all my army career at heights of 10,000 and above. Never saw a cantonment in my life, right? Never had a normal life. I decided that I needed a change. And that is what then brought me into the corporate world. Because what did I do in the army? I was infantry officer. What do you do in infantry? You command troops. So you are responsible for the life and death and the welfare and the career of soldiers. You are responsible. And at a very young age, you are a second lieutenant, and some of the soldiers or non-commissioned officers or junior commissioned officers are 30, 40-year old, but you are their boss.
Right.
So you become a mature person almost overnight. And you have to become. You have no choice. Otherwise, there is no credibility. So that then gave me the incentive to move into when I moved into the civilian world, I chose human resources because that is what I was doing. If you are in the artillery, you command guns.
Mm-hmm.
If you are in armored corps, you command tanks.
Correct.
If you are in the supply, you have the atta and the dal and the chini and the sugar and the flour. You have all this.
Yeah.
If you are in ordnance, you have the uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
If you are an infantry officer, it's the soldier, it's the troop.
Correct.
It's the man management, as we used to call it in the army. So that is what I decided I would go into.
Mm-hmm.
So I made HR my field.
Very interesting.
Now, why did I move from HR into investment banking? Was because two of the companies that I worked for were investment banking groups.
Mm-hmm.
One was Union Bank of the Middle East,
All right.
where I started as a human resource manager. In those days, there was no human resource manager. You called them personnel managers
Mm-hmm.
or personnel officers. So I started with that, moved from there to Abu Dhabi, worked with the royal family of Abu Dhabi, helped set up a company for them, which was an investment banking.
Okay, interesting.
So yeah, it was a wonderful opportunity to learn so many things.
Mm.
So I was doing HR administration, but also banking relations. So that brought me in touch with the major banks and investment houses in 4 continents, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that gave me an insight into what investment banking was, and from there, from investment banking, having traveled so many countries,
Yeah.
I then decided that I would like to set up my own company. Which I
Amazing.
then did.
Okay.
This is the way I moved. This is the trajectory.
Very interesting. I'll just take you back a little bit based on what you just mentioned. You talked about the fact that you left military at a very early age. A lot of times what you actually see is people want to see that they progress in the same profession that they're actually in. So what sparked that thought or idea of actually moving out of military into corporate world?
I moved out of the army because I just had seen too much. As a child, I had seen killing in East Pakistan. As I grew up, there was so many things that we did in Kashmir and Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
So I just needed a change.
Mm-hmm.
The army was absolutely wonderful. I never wanted to leave the army. It was in my blood.
Okay.
But I just desperately needed a change.
Mm-hmm.
And for that change, I decided that I have to go out and try a wider canvas, a wider world.
Mm-hmm.
And then that is what I did. That is how I then went into education. I did my master's because in the army, I did my bachelor's and that bachelor was military subjects.
Okay.
I wouldn't get a job outside
Correct.
with those subjects.
Mm-hmm.
So I did second bachelor's, which was in international business.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did my master's in English literature.
Oh,
The only job that I would get was a teacher.
Yeah.
I didn't want that. So
Okay.
I did another master's in international business again.
Okay.
Right? Then I met someone who had a bigger car and a bigger house and a bigger salary.
Mm-hmm.
And why? Because he had a doctorate in front of his
Yeah.
name. So I decided if that is what gets me going in the world, I'm going to do my doctorate.
Mm-hmm.
So I then did my doctorate in human resource management. But then I followed that up with a second doctorate a few years later in English literature because I love poetry. I love English literature.
Okay.
So that is how I balanced my passion
Mm-hmm.
and the need.
Okay.
All right.
Very interesting.
And it helped me move forward. And here I am, whatever I do.
Okay.
Both of them help me.
All right. Amazing journey and amazing experience. I remember having conversation with you before the podcast, and you shared something very personal with me about investing all your money in a business in Turkey and then losing it overnight. Some might find it hard to imagine how could one lose all their wealth in one go. So I think I would be very interested, and the viewers would be very interested in hearing how did this actually happen? Did you commit any mistake, or did you commit anything wrong?
Very interesting question again. When you talk about winning and losing, it stirs up a lot of emotions. So to answer this question, let me just take one step back. Everything was going wonderful for me. I was working for a huge mega corporation, $300 billion in assets under management. It was called the British American Tobacco Company, and it was out of the UK, out of the United Kingdom. It had offices in 56 countries, and it was a global empire.
Mm-hmm.
They owned the tobacco companies in almost every country that they were in. They owned banks, they owned trusts. So it was huge. And I had a great career with them. I had a great boss from whom I learned a lot.
Amazing.
His name was Mahmoud Najumi. And a remarkable person, very good leader, very good manager, and always backed you to the hilt. So if he gave you a responsibility, you were responsible for it, but he made sure that you had the ammunition to fight the war. So a very good leader. And I learned a lot from him. And so my posting in Turkey was part of that growth period of my life.
Okay.
Now, when you are in financial services, there are a lot of opportunities to earn good, clean money. So I earned a lot of money being in financial services because financial services, that's the name of the game. Money is the name of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the right country at the right time, right? That was the time when a lot of wealth was floating around.
Okay.
And wealth managers and asset managers and investment bankers were all very active.
Mm-hmm.
So we were in Turkey doing good business. A group of Germans came to me, a German company came to me, and they said they've got 10 million Turks in Germany. And I'd already been, by the way, I'd already been with this company for 10 years.
Okay.
So, after 10 years, you start looking around. You start thinking that, what more can I do?
What next?
What next? So when this German group came to me and said that they've got 10 million Turks in Germany and they can't get hold of them as clients, they said to me that you look like a Turk, you speak Turkish, you have been in Turkey for so many years, who better than you?
Yeah.
So why don't we team up? And we can really do big.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought this is what I was looking for, a new challenge, So I said yes to them. And so I resigned from the company where I was working and I joined hands with this German group. The problem was that we had to take permission from the Turkish government, which wasn't forthcoming easily. In those days, Turkey did not allow investment bankers and foreign investment companies to come into Turkey so easily. So we were stuck for a while, but then I managed to get the permission.
Okay.
When I got the permission, it was a temporary permission. It was a provisionary permission. And they said that we have to deposit 20 million US dollar as a sort of a security, as a sort of a fund, strategic reserve, you may call it. So since we were looking for an investment banking permission, that was what was required. So the group that I had been meeting, that we had been talking and been to Germany, stayed with them there, been to Luxembourg, stayed with them there. So we had the plan ready. Everything was good. And the permission came with a provision that we have to deposit so many million as a strategic reserve. The Germans said, no issue, no problem. In the meantime, the Turkish government said to me, you can start the bank. You can start your
operations.
Not the operations itself, but you can start your administrative, all the details that you need to do. So we had the office, we took the office, we started recruiting people, and they gave me a time frame in which to make sure that this money was deposited with the Turkish government. Unfortunately, after I had got 40 people on board, after I had done the marketing, after I had done everything, the money still had not come. And the Turkish government said we would take back the permission. Now, I had already invested myself into this. So what I did was, much against the advice of my lawyer, I put up a personal bond saying that my property, my bank balances, everything is collateral. I put it as a collateral. 2 months later, the Germans backed out. When they backed out, naturally, the Turkish government had to seize my entire everything. They had to lock up the office. They had to take the computers away. They had to do a forensic check, which was natural. Was I stealing money? Was I now taking clients and then taking their deposits?
So an investigation.
It was an investigation. But what it did for me was that it brought me on the street again, because every single thing that I owned was seized, was frozen. And now the Germans pulled the screen down. They weren't even communicating. So it was like I stood guarantee for them, and now they have disappeared.
My God.
Their company is still there. Their bank, their institution is still there. But as far as I'm concerned, there is nothing more coming in, because they sent me a small letter saying that, sorry, the Luxembourg authorities are not giving us the permission to go to Turkey. So what do I do?
Yeah.
And I had, much against the advice of everybody, gone in and done it. So I had to bear the brunt. Whatever money I had, I paid off all the people. I paid off all my team, the 40 people that I had. I gave them 3 months' salary, because what I did not want was a slur on my reputation. I have all my life been careful of one thing. Nobody should be able to point a finger at me and say, he stole money or he took money, or I don't mind a bad decision. Bad decision
Absolutely.
I can take.
Anyone can make.
But I don't want anybody to say that, he owes us money.
Yes.
So I paid off everything to everybody. And then once I had said this, the Turkish government allowed me to leave the country.
Oh, okay.
But pending investigation, all my assets were frozen, including my house, my residence, my car, everything was taken over.
Okay.
I only got it back after about 18 months. So they took a fine, they imposed a fine.
Okay.
Because they had to.
Correct.
I had reneged on a commitment that we would put in the strategic reserve. So they took a fine, which I was happy to pay. And that also, it was a very minimal amount. So I really didn't, I really was not much bothered about it. But they returned everything. But it took them 2 years, 18 months to 2 years to give that back to me. But that 18 months into 2 years was hell on me, because I had nothing. Yeah. And during that period, my wife was diagnosed with a critical illness. So she was on a death sentence, and I here had nothing to support my family. So that was zero. That was the
So
zero.
you were literally grounded.
I was literally grounded. It was like
frozen.
going back to the time when I came from East Pakistan and I was sleeping on the street. But I could not show this to anybody. I could not, you see, there is an old saying that when you laugh, the world laughs with you. When you cry alone.
All right. Yeah.
And I built on this, that never, ever, ever tell your problems to anybody. 10 people you tell your problems to, 7 don't give a damn. They don't care.
Yeah.
The other 3 are happy that you got problems. So never tell your problems to
Which
people.
is very unfortunate.
Yeah, never tell your problems to people.
Yeah.
You brought it on yourself, now be a man,
Correct.
Brave it out.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm lucky that I had a good wife. I'm lucky that I had good kids. We sat down around a table. We had a small conference And the children said, the dad, don't run after money. Let's just stay. And my son was about 7 years old. My daughter was about 10. And they said, Dad, don't run after money. Let's just go away and you can start all over again. And I told them, we'll lose everything. We'll have nothing. We'll go out of Turkey with zero. And they said, Dad, as long as we are together, we are okay. And so did my wife. So I was lucky I had a good family.
Your family was very supportive.
And we moved out of there and came to Dubai, where I once again started
from scratch.
From scratch, without telling anyone where I was, even including my own brother. When he would tell me, where's your car? I would tell him, you know me, I only drive a Mercedes. And they don't have the one that I want. So when they have it, I'll go and get it.
Yeah.
He didn't know that I couldn't afford taxi fare. Okay. When he would tell me, take my car, I would say, I don't need, I'm just going to that building.
Yeah.
And I would wait for him to go away and then go into that building and get out from the other side.
Wow.
And walk. So never show your problems. And I never showed my problems. And then I was lucky. I got lucky because I kept knocking on doors. I started, what could I do? Training and development.
Okay.
I couldn't start a bank. I didn't have the money. I couldn't go into financial services. And I thought I was an HR man to begin with. Let's just start a small consultancy and do training and development. Okay. So I opened an office in Media City, Dubai Media City, and I started knocking on doors.
Okay.
Till one day, one man said, all right, I have a team. And his name was Ashok Sardana. And the reason why I'm giving you the names is fact check. You can fact check these stories.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. Ashok Sardana, he said to me that I'll give you, you train my people. And I've heard about you. I want you to train my people, but on one condition, that if I'll give you the money, I hold back 50%. I'll pay you 50%. It was $18,000.
Okay.
So I'll pay you half of that. Half of that, I'll give you once the training is over. But here is the deal. If the people you train stay and they are worth the investment that I'm making on them, I'll give you a bonus.
Oh, wow.
But if they leave the company and they wasted your time and my money, I'm going to claw back what I've given you.
Okay. Very interesting.
That's the way insurance works.
Deal, yeah.
Do you accept it? And I said, I accept it. So thank God, everybody stayed after I trained them. Okay. Everybody made money for the company and for themselves.
All right.
And so I got a bonus. And then that is from where I started. The luck started changing again.
Okay.
But luck only changes when you work.
Absolutely.
If you wait for luck to come to you, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You got to work and strive and struggle for your luck to change.
Correct. Absolutely.
It doesn't change otherwise. So it changed.
Okay. That's an amazing story. And oftentimes when some people actually experience failure, they give up, they become hopeless. And their attitude and their response in that situation actually makes the entire situation more worse. The fact that you managed to actually start from ground zero again is an enormous story and very inspiring. So what do you think gave you that confidence and that ability to start from ground zero again? Was it strong faith, willpower, or something else?
It's two things. Thank you for asking this question. Two things. One, the thing that I used to say to myself when I slept on the streets, that I'm starting from here, I'm not going to end it here. So that kept me going. Okay. I had to struggle. I promised myself as a kid that I'm not going to end my life on the streets.
Exactly.
So I
what
had
your
to
father
struggle.
had told you earlier.
I had to struggle. Okay. I owed it to my wife, I owed it to my children, but I owed it to my father, who planted that seed in me. But this another thing was that one day I was sitting and I have a cat, and the cat's name is Purple Heart. And he's called Lieutenant Colonel Purple Heart because he was wounded.
In the military house.
He was, and in the army, when you are wounded and you get a medal, it's a Purple Heart in the American army. So I called him Purple Heart. And I had two turtles, Jahangir Khan and Jan Sher Khan.
Interesting names.
Yeah, Jahangir Khan and Jan Sher Khan, because turtles are supposed to be slow. But these turtles, one day I saw them, and one of them was, I could hear the sound, tuck, 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 tuck. And so I looked, and he was literally running.
Mhm.
So I thought that he's got to have a better name than just a turtle.
Yeah.
So gave him the name Jahangir Khan. So Jahangir Khan and Purple Heart. One day I watched, I was sitting and Jahangir Khan and Purple Heart both were on the lawn. They were of my house. They were playing around. And suddenly the cat attacked the turtle. And what did the turtle do?
Mhm.
He tucked himself into the shell,
All right.
pulled his head in,
Mhm.
tucked
In
himself
defense
into the
mode.
shell. Now, Purple Heart tried to touch him, scratch him, couldn't, because that shell protected him. So no matter what the turtle got hit,
Mhm.
he wouldn't budge from his place.
Mhm.
So after some time, Purple Heart gave up
Okay.
and he went his way. And then the turtle, Jahangir Khan, took his head out, looked left and right, and ran into the bushes. I was watching it and I said to myself that God has given the turtle a perfect shell to protect himself.
Mm.
Okay, perfect shell.
Absolutely. Yeah.
He's protected from rain, he's protected from sun, he's protected from an enemy,
Mhm.
he's protected everywhere. But if he wants to make progress in life, he has to risk his head out. He
Mhm.
has to take his head out.
Mhm.
He will survive if he puts his head in,
Correct.
but then he will starve to death.
Mhm.
If he wants to move forward in life, he has to take his head out.
Correct.
His head must come out. So unless you take a risk,
Mhm.
unless you are willing to have your neck chopped,
Mhm.
you'll achieve nothing.
All right.
That is why when the Germans came to me, I stuck my neck out. I said, I'll go for it because I wanted to achieve bigger.
All right.
Okay, I got my neck chopped off.
Mhm.
It's part of the deal. I don't have to sit back and look at it. God has given me brain. I've still got my health. I can still try, one more roll of the dice. Why do I have to give up? So the turtle and the cat, they taught me this lesson that if I have to move forward, I've got to take a risk in life. So I bounced back because I kept on insisting to myself that I'm not going to give up. There has to be a way forward. And the way kept opening. The more I worked, the more I started to claw back.
Mhm.
The more people I met, the more people offered me their support and their help. The more introductions I got with other people. I met someone in the line of going for training and development, and he said, I want you to meet someone tomorrow. Can you come to my office? And he introduced me, who then brought me to Qatar to run a company for them.
Mhm.
So life is so interesting
Mhm.
if you move forward.
Mm.
But if you take the protection of the shell
Yeah.
and tuck your head in and tuck your arms and feet in,
All right.
you will stay there. You will be safe.
Exactly.
But you can't move forward.
You can't progress.
You can't move forward.
You can't grow. Yeah. I mean, what an amazing story, Dr. Shaukat, you have shared. And I just have a question about, you talked
Please.
about risk
Please.
and taking risk in order to actually progress and grow further. In the present world, a lot of young people actually, they want to start their entrepreneurial journey. They see on the social media people living a very luxurious life. And as a result, people want to actually start their own business. And then sometimes when I speak to young people, the reason why they want to actually start their business is like, I think I don't want to work 9 to 5 job. I want to retire early. I want to travel. Do you think such a mindset could actually result in success in life as well as when starting a business? You did start your own business as well. You're currently running your own business. What does it actually take to succeed in a business?
Lot of people will give you a lot of answers. I have only one, and that is hard work. Now, people say to me, oh, we work smart. work smart, don't work hard. Okay, it was a mantra that went on. Like everything in management, there is a buzzword. Everybody catch on the buzzword. Everywhere I go, I hear the word excellence. And the same companies that are promising excellence, if I go and visit the accommodation of their staff, it is pathetic. But the company has written everywhere, we strive for excellence, we work for excellence, and it's in their mission statement, it's in their vision. So these are buzzwords. Work smart. You cannot work smart unless you are in the habit of working hard. You have to burn the skin off your back. It's not going to happen otherwise. Okay, now this might be very old-fashioned to some people. Oh, no, it's today, the world is artificial intelligence. I am sure the type of emails I receive, the type of reports I read that are generated from artificial intelligence is only as good as the input that you will give in, as the questions that you will ask. If the questions are dumb, artificial intelligence is going to come up with dumb answers, okay? And you will think it's very good. And I'll give you a small story on this. One day I was sitting and working, and my son and daughter came up. And they were small at that time. And they came to me and they said, my daughter said to my son, you ask. And my son said to her, no, you ask. So, no, you ask. You are dad's favorite. And I said, no, you ask. You are older. So I was getting bugged. So I said, listen, I'm busy. What do you want to ask? Dad, we want to ask you a question, but Dad, it's a stupid question. And I said, listen, there's no such thing as a stupid question. There could be a stupid answer, but there's no stupid question. Questions are inquisitiveness, you see. So ask me. You ask. They kept on throwing the ball to each other until I lost it. And I said, look, I sent you to the best schools in the country, yeah? I expect more initiative from both of you. So go ahead and ask, right? So finally they asked, and my daughter said, Dad, we're just wondering how a nice lady like our mother ended up marrying a guy like you. So I got up, I said, that's a stupid question. Now, the moral of the story is that questions will get you answers. But the quality of the answer depends on the quality of the question. The questioning skill is more important than the answer itself. Because you can shape the question in a way to draw the best out of a person, even if he doesn't want to give it to you, or something hidden out of the person, even if he doesn't want to give it to you. So that is why it is imperative that young people, they first learn how to work hard. I'll give you an example again. I hired a trainer for my company, American educated, looked like Andy Garcia. All right, Andy Garcia, the famous handsome actor. Okay? And Andy Garcia in his prime. And this young man was Andy Garcia. He could beat Andy Garcia anytime. Okay? Really classy, real good. If you talk to him, wonderful conversationalist. He was so good that everybody's entitled to. There is no copyright on having an ego. Anybody can have an ego, and I like to say to people that I'm the best trainer in the world. So it's my ego talking. It's not may not be the reality, but it's an ego talking. I used to tell to people that he could beat me any day. This boy is so good, and I invested a lot of time on him. The problem was he's not used to working hard. He will get up when he wants to get up. He will work when he wants to work. He will go out for a coffee break or a cigarette break or whatever break when he wants to. There is no discipline in his life. When you don't have the discipline, all the talent in the world is useless.
Correct.
Everything that you know is useless if you cannot apply it through discipline. I had the honor of having dinner with Jeffrey Archer, the famous novelist.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Archer, everybody knows him, famous novelist, but he was also at one time the deputy chairman of the Conservative Party in the UK and was a favorite of Margaret Thatcher when she was Prime Minister.
Yeah.
And he was largely looked upon as succeeding Margaret Thatcher. In the 90s, I had the honor of having dinner with him. And I asked him, I said, Sir, at that time he was Sir Geoffrey Archer, not Lord Jeff, not Lord Archer. So I said, Sir Geoffrey, I'm going to ask you a question. You know, I've read all your novels and I have some of them in my house, in my collection. And in fact, I had taken one novel for him to sign. And so I said, would you autograph it? And I still have it in my house. He autographed it for me. The book was a matter of honor. So I said, you have written fantastic books. You are a great storyteller. I want to know the man behind the book. I want to know the author.
All right.
What makes you tick? What is it that really drives you? And so he gave me how he works, what discipline he follows, how he combines his politics and his social life and his book writing, and how he divides the day into segments and then works accordingly. Wonderful. But the thing that really what I was looking for was when he said this in the end. And he said that there are two things. There is talent and there is energy. Okay? So energy, you can call it enthusiasm, you can call it hard work, you can call it anything.
Anything.
But there is talent and there is energy. And he said, if you have 100% talent and you have 0% energy, you will be a beggar on the street. If you have 30% energy, 70% talent, you will be a prince. But if you have 70% energy, only 30% talent, you'll be a king.
Amazing. Wow.
Energy by itself will make you beg on the street because you will always be, you don't have energy, talent.
Talent.
You don't have energy. You have only talent. Now you are dependent on everybody else. But if you have the energy and combine it with the talent, whichever proportion you want to, you will always succeed in life. So to the young people who come to me, and I do a lot of counseling for young people in different universities, I tell them that never expect anything from anybody. Number one lesson, which I learned from East Pakistan, from Bangladesh war, that war. Never expect anything from anybody, and you'll never be disappointed in life. You have to depend on yourself. Right? The second thing is that you have to work hard. Now, if working hard means you will work 21 hours of the day, well, so be it. Condition your body, because that's what I do. I work at this age. I work, and I won't tell you my age because I like to tell. I like to tell people that I'm from Jurassic Park. You know, my address is number 1 Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
I'm an old dinosaur.
Yeah.
But I still work 21 hours of every single day.
Wow. Amazing.
Okay. And I love every minute of my life because I work. I look forward to the next morning, waking up after 3 hours so I can meet more people.
You enjoy working and you're obsessed
I enjoy
with it.
working, and my work involves meeting people, and I meet good quality people every day. So that is what makes me get up in the morning. And you have to always say to yourself that can I do something bigger? Can I do something more? You have to challenge yourself.
All right.
You have to beat your personal best. You don't have to copy someone else. You don't have to say that Shaukat works for 21 hours, so I'm going to work for 21 hours. No, your body is different to my body. Your thinking is different to my thinking. But somewhere you have to answer yourself truthfully. Am I giving it my best? And if you're not giving it your best, well, then give it your best. And if it means you working longer hours, you just have to. You have to pay a price for what you get out of life. You have to pay a price.
Everything has a price.
Everything has a price. There is
success as well.
There is no free lunch. Everything has a price tag. Now, the beauty of this philosophy is, if you follow what I'm telling you, you can put a price tag around your neck and charge what you want. Because people will pay you what you are worth. And if you undervalue yourself, why the hell would someone pay you more? Give you another example on this. I'm walking with my daughter, Times Square. She's going to Carnegie Mellon. This is about 15 years ago. So she's going to Carnegie Mellon, joining Carnegie Mellon, and I'm going to drop her off as a father, protective father, taking the daughter there, making sure everything is okay, and then coming back. So we are walking in Times Square. We have a day. We decide to go and eat at a restaurant. We go to a restaurant to have our food, come out, it's pretty late. And there, at one place where we turn, there is a pile of clothes, smelling dirty clothes on the sidewalk. So my daughter and I looked at, and we decided to, just quickly pass through. When that bundle of clothes started to move, and my daughter said to me, she held me by the hand and said, "Dad, stop." And we looked at the pile of clothes, and out from under the dirty pile emerges a man, disheveled, completely dirty, overgrown hair, overgrown beard, and a bottle of some alcoholic beverage in his hand. And probably he had brought it in a brown bag because the bag was still sticking to the bottle. And he gets up and he looks at us. And it was a sight to scare anybody. And my daughter said, "Dad, let's cross the road and go to that side." And my pride as a soldier wouldn't let me run away.
Yeah.
So foolish. But then, as I said, there is no copyright on being foolish. Anybody can be foolish. So I told my daughter, "It's okay. You're with me. Come." And we move forward. And this man got up and he started swaying and moving towards us. And my daughter once again pulled my hand and said, "Dad, let's cross the road. Let's go to the other side." And I said, "No, let's just cross it." And in the meantime, the man was about 5 feet, 6 feet away from us. So my daughter pulled my hand and forcibly took me across. This man crossed the road is at the same angle.
Okay.
And now he's in front of us on the other side. So I looked at him and he looked at me and he said, "Mister, $2. Mister, save my life. $2. And I took out my wallet. And there was a street light and you could see the wallet and you could see some notes in it. I took out $2 and I gave it to him. And I said, "Here you are. And remember, you want $2, yeah? That's what you're getting." Gave him $2. He took it, snatched it, looked at me, and we walked past him. And then suddenly he said, Mister. So I turned and looked back and he said, "You are a weird." And we walked back. We walked home. And on the way, my daughter said to me, "Dad, if he had asked $100, would you have given him $100?
Yeah.
And I said, somewhere in the journey of his life, he put a price on himself. And his price is $2.
$2.
He put it on himself. He put a price tag. He knows with the $2, I'll give him and somebody will give him $2. Somebody will give me, he will go and buy another bottle of whiskey or whatever he's drinking. He put a price tag on himself. $2. And that price tag is sticking to him. So he will never, ever value himself more than $2 because that's his value.
That's his value.
So when I teach people, I tell them, always put a time will come when you will be putting a price tag on yourself. Now you put a price tag of $2, the world will treat you like $2. You put a price tag of $1 million, the world will treat you like $1 million. But you better believe that you're worth $1 million. And for that, you have to work hard.
You have to work hard and you have to develop yourself.
And you have to develop yourself.
To build your worth. Absolutely amazing. I mean, you're a great storyteller. And I think I really want to ask you this question now itself. What's your recipe to this level of energy that you have even at this age? How do you keep that much energy alive?
Okay. How do I? Look, I absolutely believe in a thing that I learned from David Copperfield. Uh, David Copperfield, there are two David Copperfields in history. One David Copperfield is Charles Dickens' novels, okay? And the other one is the magician, the illusionist. I'm talking about the magician, the illusionist. My travels around the world have introduced me to so many wonderful people. And especially being in financial services at one time, it brought me in league with the rich and the famous because they were my clients. David Copperfield, I happened to meet in Turkey. And we were sponsoring a show by David Copperfield. He was putting on a magic act, an illusion. And we were 5 of us on a table. And there were about 200 people all around. This table was for the sponsors. So there was the Toprak Bank, at that time, one of the biggest banks in Turkey, Toprak Bank manager, president, his wife. I was there. David Copperfield was there. And his, at that time, wife, Claudia Schiffer, the supermodel, she was there. So David Copperfield, the centerpiece of his show was he would make the bridge over the Bosphorus disappear.
Wow.
So you have this huge bridge, 6 million people, cars cross every day. In those days, there was only one. Now they have 3. But at that time, they had only one bridge. So 6 million cars cross every day. And you can see the bridge. It's a starry night. You can see the stars. You can see the cars on the bridge. And then David Copperfield makes the bridge go away.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. The bridge disappeared. And not only that the bridge disappeared, but the bridge disappeared and you can still see the stars. But the bridge disappeared and everybody went, the audience, 200 people went,
they must be in awe.
Yeah, the 200 cars, the cars on the bridge, will they come down, crashing down? What will happen? Well, while everybody held their breath, David Copperfield brought the bridge back, okay? And everybody clapped and everybody, went wild. David Copperfield joined us on the table, of the sponsors table. So while there, I asked him the same question that I had asked some time back of Sir Jeffrey Archer. I said, what makes you tick? What gives you this energy? Incredible energy. What gives you this energy? And David Copperfield said 3 things, which I have, I follow Jeffrey Archer's philosophy. I follow this also. He said that, Shaukat, ever since I can remember what I want to do, that I want to do something, ever since I can remember, I have always wanted to be a magician. I've always wanted to be doing tricks and doing illusions. So am I not lucky that as a child, I dreamt that I would be a magician. And today, at this age, I am doing what I have always wanted to do. So I do what I love to do. If somebody now offers me a job of $1 million, I wouldn't take it. I love to do this. This is me showing tricks, doing illusions. The second thing is that I get paid to do what I would do for free. I would do this for free. I would stand in the middle of Taksim and show magic tricks to people.
Because he's passionate about it.
Because I'm passionate about it. This is my life. But now, isn't it marvelous that people pay me to do this? You are paying me. Correct. He looked at me and he said, looked at the Toprak Bank president. He said, you are paying me. Yeah. And he doesn't come cheap. David Copperfield, to get David Copperfield to do a show for you is the starting talk is about $5 million. He doesn't come cheap.
$5 million US dollars.
$5 million US because he has to bring his entire paraphernalia with him. He has to bring his entire team with him. And plus. So he said, I get paid to do, people pay me to do what I love to do and I would do for free. And when he was talking, I'm sitting there thinking, do I love what I do? I'm in financial services.
Yeah.
I loved soldiering, but I'm no more a soldier. I'm in financial services. Yeah, I make a lot of money, but do I love doing what I'm doing? No. The answer was no. An honest answer was no. This is not me. Financial services is not me. Even though a lot of money and a lot of excitement and everything, but no, that's not me. And the third thing he said was that I never know who is going to be in the audience. So I have to beat my personal best every time. I have to be more energetic. I have to be more hardworking at every trick, at every illusion.
I have to keep improving.
I have to keep improving because I don't know. Suppose somebody saw me today here in Turkey and then tomorrow I am doing it in, let's say, New York. And I do the same trick that I do here. I make the sky, the Empire State Building disappear. Somebody will say, oh, he's got only one trick. That's what he does. No, I have to combine it with three other. And even that disappearing act must be in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
I have to beat my personal best every time because I don't know who's in the audience. So I sat there thinking, and I said that ever since I was a kid, and I would take part in debates, and I would take part in debating contests and speech contests, and I loved to speak.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, one of the things that my seniors always had against me was that you talk too much. And one of the things my wife has always told me is that, Shaukat, Chandna, you talk too much, shut up. So I thought that this is great. I can talk and I can earn money.
By talking.
And I am going to do what I love to do. And people will pay me for doing what I would do for free.
All right.
And I would always be on an improvement curve because I don't know who's going to be in the audience. So to answer your question, this is what gives me the energy every single day.
Amazing.
Every single day, I know that I have to be better than yesterday. I have to drive myself. I have to push myself.
I think this is the mindset that keeps you growing. And that's what matters for everyone.
Very well said. Very well said. It's a mindset. You just have to get into that. And I talk about a motivational trigger. You have to give yourself a motivational trigger. You have to keep on motivating yourself. I can't wait for you to motivate me. I can't wait for someone else to motivate me. Their circumstances in life are different. They will be motivated by different reasons, for different reasons. I will be motivated for different reasons. So I have to find my own motivational trigger. A trigger is the key factor in a pistol or a gun that when you pull back, the bullet goes forward. To go forward, you have to find yourself a motivational trigger, and that you have to keep pulling every time. And once you reach your target, the bullet has reached the target, you have to just find another motivational trigger. You have to find another motivational trigger. You just have to keep on doing that all the time.
Dr. Shaukat, you talked about motivational triggers and that everyone should find these motivational triggers in order to transform their lives. Being in the training profession, what I've observed is a lot of time people actually attend workshops, soft skills training, and they really get motivated and inspired by great speakers. But then after a while, like after 24 hours, like they have a lot of energy. But after some time, you see that fades away and they're back to normal. All that motivation, inspiration, and energy is actually lost. So do you think one can actually transform their lives just by attending a training session or a masterclass, or maybe, in fact, just listening to a podcast like this? Or does it actually take the real work, which is the grit, passion, hard work, showing up every single day and not giving up?
Right. Thank you for the question. Training programs, training sessions, self-help books, podcasts, everything, they help you to move forward. Yeah? They help you to find a bit of a direction. But to think that you will attend a course on time management and from tomorrow morning, your time management skills are perfect if you are everywhere on time and everything that you are doing is on a deadline and you are meeting the deadlines, that's a fallacy. It doesn't work like that. The reason is very simple. A training program or training session or books can only help trigger a thought then you have to go back and act on that thought. Most of the training programs that are there in the market and most of the companies that do training programs or conduct training programs, they concentrate on skills. They forget something. They forget that skills are not going to come into play till the attitudinal shift has taken place. So in my training programs, what I do is I try to create a shift from where I find my audience. So I find my audience and I judge in the first few seconds, first few minutes, what the mental makeup is of the overall mental makeup of my audience. Now, it depends on my expertise, on my ability to be able to take them from here and bring them here by the end of the course. I have to create an attitudinal shift. If I do not create an attitudinal shift, what is going to happen? They will listen to me. They will take all the lessons. They will go back and do exactly what they were doing before.
And forget about it.
It's been a good day. Everybody had a good time.
They enjoyed the session.
And they enjoyed the session. Good cup of tea, good sandwiches, and they are gone. When they go back, they'll do exactly what they were doing before. Now, it is not possible for anyone to become an expert after attending one session, 1.5 session, 2 sessions, 3 sessions of any subject. It has to be consistent. There has to be a consistency. And there has to be a deliberate effort to be able to move forward. So, if the attitudinal shift is there, then yes, you will be able, now that your attitude has shifted.
So you're talking about the mindset.
The mindset. Okay, you have to recalibrate. You have to recalibrate your mindset or reset your mindset. Now, unless you do that, it doesn't happen. Now, for example, how many times we walk in to an office for a meeting, and we go in for the meeting, we go to the reception, we say who we are there to meet. We meet the person. Then the person comes out with us to leave us to the elevator, and we walk through. It's been a good meeting. Did we go back to that reception and to that receptionist and say thank you very much before we went to the lift? That is where your attitude comes in play.
And that's a character part of it.
And that's a character. Now, character only, how do I know what character you have unless I can see it in play?
Exactly.
I can see it in effect.
In actions.
And that is basically acta non verba.
We were just talking about
We're
it.
just
during the
talking
break.
about it. Action, not words. So you have to go and you have to do small little things, and you can create an attitudinal shift. If you can create an attitudinal shift, everything is useful. But if you cannot create that attitudinal shift, people will go back and do exactly what they were doing. Let me give you an example of this. Many years ago, I was in Abu Dhabi, and our office, we had an office on the Corniche, and this was in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. So not very many buildings in Abu Dhabi at the time. But there was a building on the Corniche, and we had our office there. And I remember that the first day when I went into that building, there was a natur, a caretaker, sitting there. And when he saw me, he just kept sitting. He didn't acknowledge my presence. He didn't say anything. And he pretended there was a newspaper in front of him. And he pretended that he was reading a newspaper. He just ignored me. I've looked at him and I said, Assalamu alaikum. How are you? And he just looked at me and then didn't say anything, didn't even nod, and just went back to his newspaper. I went into the lift. Next day, I did the same thing. Third day, I did the same thing. Fourth day, I did the same thing. There were some people from my office, and they told me, sir, he ignores you and he's such a rude person. Why do you persist on doing this? Well, it took me about 60, 70 days. But 60, 70 days later, one day I walked in and he said salam to me first. I changed him. Yes, I would have loved it if it had happened in day 2.
Exactly.
I would have loved
Yeah.
it. All right. But it took me 60, 70, 80 days. But I did manage
Persistently.
because I showed him I am not being controlled by your behavior. I am a slave to my behavior.
My behavior.
That is my character. Now, my character tells me, my attitude shows that I'm going to do it. I will say salam to you. I will say hello to you. I will say, how are you? One day, either one of us is going to give up or one of us is going to die, or I will be successful in changing you. And so, yes, I do believe in it, that training helps. I do believe in it that podcasts and all the other areas where you can improve definitely helps. But at the same time, I always insist when I go to companies, I tell them that not only will I do my job, but then you have to do your job as well. You have to follow this up.
Exactly. Not make it a one-time activity.
Don't make it a one-time activity. It must be followed up. It must be practiced. You have to practice it.
Yeah.
And consciously practice it. Okay, you have to consciously practice it. I had a person come to my office in Abu Dhabi again, and he did some work for me. He was a carpenter. He did some work for me. When he was going, at that time, somebody walked in with my pizza, which I had ordered for lunch. And I asked this carpenter that, I have a pizza. Would you like to share it with me? He said, no. My transport will come to pick me up. So I have to go down and wait, and my transport will, otherwise I'll miss my transport, and I have to go to the industrial area. So I said, okay. Then off he went. 1.5 hours later, when I went down, he was standing in the sun. So I asked him, why are you still here? He said, the transport didn't come. And those were days when you didn't have mobile phones.
Mm-hmm.
Pager was the cutting edge technology.
Yeah.
So he said, I'm trying to page them, but nobody answers.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know when they will come. So I told him, hop into my car, sit down, I'll take you. He said, no, I am in the industrial area. I said, look, it doesn't matter. I'm going home anyway. So I'll drop you. It's okay. So I took him to the industrial area. It was very far away it was out of Abu Dhabi. Okay. It was literally out of Abu Dhabi. So I took him there. And on the way, he said something to me that supports what we have been talking about, whether training and sessions, they help. He said to me that you seem to be a good man. So may I offer you some advice? And I told him, please go ahead. He said that every night before you go to sleep, ask yourself, did my actions help make someone's life easy? Did my actions help make someone's career, put someone at ease, help someone? Did I do something today that I'm proud of? Ask yourself this. If the answer is yes, go to sleep. But if the answer is no, or you are confused, and it's 12 o'clock midnight or 1 o'clock, you cannot go out and do a good deed, take a glass of water and water a plant. The plant is a living thing, and this will be counted as your good deed with God.
What a beautiful advice and message.
Can you imagine somebody whom I would have thought an illiterate person gave me the biggest lesson of my life?
Absolutely.
And he said that now, the lesson that I will take it, and the thing that I will relate to your question is, I have to do it every day to change my life. One day I can't get up and say, did I do anything good today? And the answer is no, well, I'll try tomorrow and go to sleep. I have to make it a habit to ask myself every day, then a time will come that I will feel disturbed if I haven't done a good deed for the day.
And eventually you're making it a habit by doing it daily.
Very good. So I'm making it a habit. Now, once I turn it into a habit, then it's all there. And I promise you, till today, I keep a glass of water on my bedside table, or a bottle of water, and I drink water during the night. And When I get up, whatever is there in the bottle, I will water. I have plants in my room, so I will water the plants. And I look at the plants every day and I water before I go to bed. So when did he tell me this? 35 years ago. And I've practiced it ever since. Now, does that influence my character? I think it does. Does that influence my attitude towards other people? Because now I have an attitude that helps other people. Maybe in the past, I didn't have that attitude. But this one act told to me by a carpenter who I would have thought was an illiterate man, what a wonderful lesson he gave me. I do it till today. So, and I tell this to in my classes, I tell this to my students.
And that's a wonderful message for everyone who is actually watching this podcast.
Yeah. So this is something that if you feel you haven't done anything that makes you feel proud of yourself, you haven't helped anybody, you haven't furthered anybody's career, you didn't do anything that you really feel that, oh, wow, I did this today. Then, and it's too late in the night to do anything right now, get up, take a glass of water and water the plant. You have just given life to a living creature of God. And then go back and sleep peacefully that you have at least done your bit today. And tomorrow try something better. So training is exactly the same thing. You have to do it consistently. Consistently, you have to follow it. You have to draw lessons. Now, one thing that I always insist is that draw your own inference, draw your own lessons. We love to talk about, and it gets my goatee whenever I hear it. Oh, Bill Gates did this. Jeff Bezos did this. Elon Musk slept on the floor of his office. Well, you aren't willing to do it yourself. You are talking about it.
Exactly.
You are praising them. When it comes to you, you want a table and a chair and you want everything. You want 100%. You want the entire environment and ecosystem before you get into action. Why don't you do it? They are your heroes. And they are action, not word. You are not doing it. So don't tell me about Jeff Bezos. Don't tell me about Elon Musk. Yes, of course, if I Google, I'll get all the information I need. Tell me what you are doing with the lessons that I'm teaching you. Don't come to me and say, I read about Jack Welch. Good you read about Jack Welch. It enhanced your knowledge. I'm glad. Are you implementing?
How are you applying that
How are
in
you
your own
applying
life?
that to real life? Now, if you're not applying, that's just another book on the bookshelf. If you're not applying it. Tell me what you're applying. So what I do in some of my courses, I teach people to divide their life into 4 distinct parts. I tell them, divide your life into 4 parts. Let's say you divide your career into 4 parts. Don't divide your entire life. Just your last 10 years that you spent in Qatar. Divide it into 4 parts. 2.5 years. First 2.5 years. What happened? Did you find everything easy? Did you find everything hunky-dory? Did you have a fight with someone? Did you find it difficult when you went to the ministries? Think about it. Many episodes will come to your mind. Write them down. Then write what lessons you picked up. How did you handle them? Then go to the second stage of your life in Qatar. Go to the third stage of your life in Qatar. Go to the final stage. Draw lessons from your own life and try and pick up from the episodes of your life, pick up lessons. And those lessons will make you richer because they are your lessons. Then you are in a position to advise other people. Doing a course and getting a certificate from ICF, International Coaching Federation. Now I am a life coach. Till yesterday, my entire life was in the pits. Till yesterday, I was looking for a job. Now I have done one course, ICF, and now I have become a life coach. I'm putting on LinkedIn, I'm a life coach. And I'm trying to earn money. Don't do it. Because you may have someone in the audience, words of David Copperfield, who may see through you. Then your credibility is gone. So therefore, what better way to become better at what you do than by looking at your own life, dividing your life into small episodes, picking up lessons from there, and then seeing what you made of them. Did you apply those lessons? Do you still apply them? For example, I never, ever, ever keep my mobile phone with me because it's a disrespect to my audience. It's a disrespect to my students. It's a disrespect to my clients. Why do I have a mobile phone? I will not keep it. So I leave it in my car or I keep it outside or whatever. What made me do this? Like everybody else, I love to carry a mobile phone. But what made me decide that I will not keep a mobile phone? Because we were talking about something and she said to me, I will just go out for 1 minute and I'll come back. And she went out and came back after a minute. And then we talked some more. And then she said, just give me 2 minutes and I'm coming back. And she went out. And then I found out that she was waiting for a call from her husband, who was the prime minister of the country. And she did not keep the phone on the table with me.
That's very inspiring.
That is courtesy. That is class. That is character. That is quality. That is an attitude. She could have kept it. Who the hell am I? She could have kept it over there. As in Turkey, we would say, Ben Kimim. Who the hell am I? She could have kept it on the table. She didn't. That because I was her teacher and she wanted to show me that respect. So she kept the mobile phone out. Yes, because the prime minister may call. She had to, So I tell my students, if you are expecting a phone call, no issues. Just raise your hand, pick your phone, go outside, talk, come back. That is acceptable. But the phone going off when I'm talking to you or you're talking to me and keeping it on one side and continuously looking like that. Some people do that. They keep it on one side and they keep looking and they keep talking to you and they keep looking. It's adding insult to injury. Don't do it. The world is not going to collapse simply because you do not have your mobile phone. It's not going to collapse. It has not collapsed yet, and it will not collapse now. So this is how it shapes up. You are in charge of your life. You are in charge of building your character. You are in charge of creating an attitude that people can see, and then people want to be like you. I had a teacher who taught me in class, and I learned Urdu language from him. I didn't know my own language when I was a child. And he taught me Urdu language. And one day he was saying something which was very inspiring. He said, the 45-minute class that you take, in those days, the class was for 45 minutes. He said, the 45 minutes class that you have, the teacher has for the students. He said, there are two kinds of teachers. One who will come and teach and go away. The other, for him, 45 minutes is a performance. He's performing. He's an actor. He's Sir Laurence Olivier. He's Marlon Brando. He's an actor. He's bringing his entire personality into the class. Now you will never forget the lesson. There'll be another teacher who will come open a book and tell you to turn to page 221. And then, he's lost you and you have lost him. And I never forgot it. At that stage of my life, I didn't know I was going to become a trainer. But I never forgot it. But that is why it is so important for all of us. And attitude relates to everything. And that same teacher, he was one of the few teachers who came very well dressed to the class. Very well dressed. Now, please remember that in my country, in those days, even today maybe, but in those days certainly, a teacher had a very little salary.
Exactly.
Very little salary. But he made sure that he had good, his dress sense was good. He was immaculately dressed. And when he would come and speak, you would be mesmerized by his personality and by the way he involved you into the lessons. It was so good. And from him again comes the lesson that you have to dress for the occasion. Many of my students ask me, Dr. Shaukat, you always insist on dressing. Why is it that you insist on dressing? Steve Jobs used to wear a jeans and a turtleneck. And that's how he lived his entire life. Well, number one, my dear friend, you are no Steve Jobs. When you become Steve Jobs, dress like Steve Jobs. There are only 2% people on this planet who can afford to dress the way they want to dress. The Pope is one of them. All right? You are not in the league with the Pope. So don't start comparing that, oh, well, Steve, and you're not certainly with Steve Jobs. There was a man called Mohandas Karamchand. I asked them this question. I said, do you ever heard? I showed them a picture. I said, have you ever seen this man or heard of this man, Mohandas Karamchand? Of course, they haven't. Then I show them a picture of Gandhi. And I say, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. When Mohandas was Mohandas Karamchand, he wore a suit because he was a lawyer in South Africa. So he wore a suit. When he became Mahatma, he wore a loincloth. He was half naked. He went to meet the Queen of England half naked. You try to go and meet King Charles today half naked, you will be locked up in the Tower of London. If not in Guantanamo Bay as a terrorist. So you have to dress for the occasion. You have to dress according to the environment. Now, if your environment allows you to wear your national dress, by all means, wear your national dress and be proud of it. But if your environment demands something else, be flexible, be adaptable. So this is also what I teach my students, and I always tell them that you have to dress according to, because everything relates. Ultimately, it will circle around your attitude. Yeah. Some people tell me, well, they can accept me or take me or accept me as I am. Then don't blame yourself if you didn't find a job, or don't blame yourself if you didn't, land up where you thought you would land up. Don't blame yourself. Don't blame others.
They'll not change for you. You have to change yourself.
You have to change. The world was not made according to your specification. The world was not made according to your specification. Sorry. You have to cut the cloth as you go along. Now, if you cut the cloth as you go along, you'll be successful. And if you cannot, well, you cannot. Then you suffer. And then don't blame everybody else. That was because of this, it was because of this. It is not because of this, it's because of you. You see, whatever we do, there are microchips, and I have a bald head. We have microchips inside our head. And anything that we see, that we hear, we pick it up and it gets planted there. The good and the bad and the ugly. And somewhere it throws out. The microchip comes out. So you think, I'm a very brave person. And unfortunately, one of the microchips here is of a coward. And that came out, and that was the first time that we were meeting. And now you say, everybody says he's a brave guy, but he's a coward. Because on that day, you saw that one microchip. Therefore, every single time I have to be careful what microchip I'm planting. Because I don't know which microchip will come out. When? That is why we brush our teeth every day. We don't say that, okay, well, I'll brush my teeth if I have a meeting. We brush it every day because we don't know who we're going to meet. I'll give you an example of this, why I'm so serious about this. My children, my daughter Mariam and my son Isa, my daughter went to Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh, and my son went to Georgetown. And both are accomplished young people, young professionals. And I'm very proud of them. But every time we have a small argument. Dad, why do you always have to wear a suit? You're just going to the ATM. The ATM is right opposite my house. So I'm going to the ATM. I'll wear my tie. I'll put my shirt on. I'll take out my car and I'll drive. I said, Dad, you can just walk across and you don't need to change. Dad, you can go in your jeans. And I always have this standing joke with them that, I don't know who I'll meet. Maybe I go there and it's Jennifer Lopez. She's visiting Qatar and she's there to take some Qatari real out. And Jennifer Lopez looks at me. There I lose my chance of 1,000,000 years. So it's a joke that father and children, we play. But I'm very serious. So every time I go, one day I was at the QNB opposite my house. And I wore my tie, put on my jacket, got in my car, drove to QNB. As I'm at QNB and I'm getting out, a Qatari gentleman was coming in from inside the bank. And this is 2 o'clock at night. 2 o'clock at night. He's coming out and he looked at me as I was getting out. He said, are you going to the ATM? I said, yes. He said, it's not working. Let's try the other one. And he looked at me and he said, let's try the other one. And he pointed a bit distance off. So I said, okay, where is it? He said, you can leave your car here and you can come with me. I'm going to go there. So I got in the car with him. We both went. We both got the money. We both came back. And he said, so you're driving to the airport? I said, no, I'm going to go home. He said, I thought that because of your dress and when you came out, the light in the car and I saw your briefcase, I thought you were going to the airport. I said, no, sir, I'm not going to the airport. I'm just, came to the ATM. So I thought I'll dress up. And I gave him my card. I always carry a visiting card. So I gave him my card. And he said, let me see if I can find my card. Okay. And he couldn't find his card in the car. He said, it's okay. I have your card now. And I don't know who he is. Next morning, 11 o'clock, I receive a phone call. Qatar Chemical Company, right? Qatar Chemical Company. Story is about 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Qatar Chemical Company. Secretary calls, says, our CEO met you yesterday at Qatar National Bank. And he would like to meet you, invite you for a cup of tea. So is it possible for you to come tomorrow at what time is convenient to you? And I said, I would be very honored. And she said, please, I have your email. I'll be sending you a car park, etc., etc., etc. And 10 o'clock, we fixed the time. 10 o'clock, I went over there. He said, the company is undergoing changes and we are doing organizational restructuring. So when I looked at your card the next morning, I saw that you are a consultant and I saw that your company does this. Would you be interested in taking a look at what we are doing and see if you can play a role in it? And there I got a contract. Now suppose that I was in my sleeping pajamas. What were the chances that he would have even talked to me, forget about asking me to sit in his car and go with him to the ATM machine? So I would love to see my students and people who associate with me dress according to the occasion. And if the occasion demands you to be dressed in a certain way, please do. Because everything then adds up.
Going back to the message you talked about of digging deep into your own life and discovering your own self. I think in the present world, a lot of young people, unfortunately, including myself, don't do that. We don't document, we don't reflect on what's happening in our life. So I really think this is literally a great message for every young person to actually do. Because when you then reflect and ponder, there'll be so many great lessons that you can learn. And as you rightly said, trainings are not like a one-time thing or an activity that should actually be done, or whether even listening to podcasts or reading books. I think we as human beings, we do need those reminders. Yes, habits are formed through actions, but we also need reminders. Because it's very natural that with all the hustle that we are going through, with so much happening in one's life, we tend to lose the messages and the lessons that we have actually learned. So that's really inspirational and great. Let's just say you talked about the fact that you need those motivational triggers that can happen through trainings or podcasts. And you need to be very hardworking in order to succeed in life or in anything, be it at work or any business. Say if I'm a young guy and I've had my savings and little savings, and I took the courage to invest my savings and start a business. And I gave my best to it. I worked hard, but it's still very much possible that my business might actually bust despite of working hard. What would you advise a young person like this who has experienced a failure in life despite of working hard?
You see, for young people, you have an advantage. You can fall, you can get up again. Yeah. My age, at this age, I still take risks. I still remember the turtle putting its head out. Okay, Jahangir Khan Jan Sher Khan putting his head out. I still remember that is the only way to move forward. So for young people, if you have a little money and you passionately believe that yes, you want to get into some kind of a business, as long as you are not harming somebody else by your action, then go with it. Go with what you believe in. Analyze it, think about it, but take the action. Once you take the action, don't give up. Maybe you have initial setback. Maybe you have initial problems. Whatever it is, hurdles, hindrances. Once you have decided you want to do it, go for it. Always remember that you can get up, even if you lose everything. You are still young, you can still make your life. Then it comes the same thing that we were talking about before, that we say that Richard Branson started his business, selling records on the street. Well, why aren't we willing to do it? So if, yes, you lose it, you lose it.
Stand up and try again.
Stand up and try again. Don't worry about it. I'll give you an example on this. You've seen the movie, or I hope that you have seen the movie Rocky and Sylvester Stallone. And in one of the Rocky movies, he's talking to his son, and he tells his son that the son is telling him that you are an old man now. Why do you still want to go and fight? Because people laugh at me. They say your father can hardly walk and he is now going to fight again. So did you ever think that people are laughing at me? And Sylvester Stallone, the father, tells the son that you were a great kid and I loved watching you grow up. But somewhere along the way, you stopped being you. You started letting people tell you what is right and what is wrong. Don't do it. That is for losers. You are not a loser. Learn to stand on your own 2 feet. So if a young person comes to me today and says, I have an idea, and my advice to him would be, investigate your idea from all possible angles. Remember that there will always be a risk, no matter how much you look at it.
No matter how much thorough research you have done.
No matter how much thorough research you do. Be prepared to take that risk. Because without that risk, it's better to take the risk and lose than to look back 10 years later and say, I wish I had done it. I wish I had done it. It's better to take a risk and lose. So my advice to people is always that, yes, if you have an idea, you believe in it, you are a young person, this is the time. You want to do something, do it. Don't do something that is borrowed from someone else because he did it, he's successful. If I do it, I'll be successful. No, that's a wrong reason.
Mm-hmm.
Do the right thing for the right reason. You
Discover
believe in
your
it.
own path.
You march to your own drumbeat. March to your own drumbeat. Dance to your own music. Don't borrow it from someone because he did. You see, some people are investing in Bitcoin and they make money. And then they tell you that they made money. And then everybody goes and starts doing it on Bitcoin. Now, don't do it because somebody else is doing it. Do it if you think that is what you want to do. And then you will find that even if you go wrong, you would have learned lessons out of it. But if someone else is doing it and you copy that and you say, because he's doing it, he's making money, I'll make money, now you will blame him and everybody else and your luck and your cousin and your donkey.
Yeah.
Now you will blame everybody. But if you did it because you thought intrinsically, inside, you thought it's good. I started this business, which I'm doing now, Qatar Center for Career Development. Let me show you, this is our logo and this is our name. Now, Qatar Center for Career Development, I started in 2007. My plan was, and Sheikha and I were partners, Sheikha Mariam and I. And I said to her, Sheikha, the plan is to have one new client every month. So at the end of 12 months, I will have 12 clients. 13th client will pay for my holiday. 12 clients, money goes to the company. The 13th client is going to pay for my holiday. So we both laughed about it. I said, Sheikha, you're going to go on a holiday anyway. And, and she laughed. And she said, okay, done. 13th client is your client. And I got to work. At the end of the 12th month, I had 26 clients.
Wow, absolutely.
Not 12 clients as I had planned and 13th client was. I had 26 clients on the books. Yes, some client was only giving us $2,000. But we had a client. Okay, some clients were paying us more, some clients were paying us less. But yes, we had. Now, 2007, we started the company. 2012, I became very ambitious. And there was a company, an international company, that became our client. I met the CEO. He was a wonderful man. I saw he ran a very tight ship. That tight ship was making tons of money. Government contracts, QP, all the big boys, Q companies, they were his clients. When I did training for his team, we both were one day sitting and having food together. And he said to me, Dr. Shaukat, why don't we consolidate?
Merge.
He didn't use the term merge. He said, why don't we consolidate our effort? I said, what do you have in mind? And then he said, why don't we work together? And I said, what do you have in mind? And he said, we can probably merge our companies. So what will happen is, we do not have training and development within our group. Now, if we have training and development within our group, with all the safety work, with all the infrastructure work that we do for the big boys, not only in this country, but 32 other countries.
Wow.
We will both be winners. And we will have our name on one of the big towers in Corniche. We will have, or on West Bay, we'll have our name there. So I took this idea. I loved it. I was ambitious. We were making money. We were already a successful company. I went to the Sheikha, convinced her, and we merged. We did a merger. Well, while the papers for the mergers were being finalized, we started working together anyway. We found that it was not so easy to make it go successful. Why? Because when you have two enterprises merging together, you have to have change management. And change management must permeate, must transfer from the top to the bottom. Okay? And then work itself back again from the bottom to the top and sideways. People must understand why the change took place. People must understand the new dynamics. Number one, both of us, in spite of the fact that we were both teaching this thing and we were both successful, we neglected it. Number two, both of us had different styles. He was too much of a manager, a micromanager. I was too much of a leader. I looked at the bigger picture. He looked at the minor details. As a result, we found ourselves clashing And we decided that it is not working. Since it is not working, we shook hands and merged. The papers haven't been completed yet. The merger papers had not been completed yet. Still some legal procedures were going on. Let's delink.
Okay, so managed to part ways.
We parted ways amicably. No hard feelings, we parted ways. But I lost 2 years in this. I lost 2 years in this because my clients started thinking I have become now a big boy and I'm concentrating on outside countries, the 32 countries that this company had. I'm not interested in them. So they stopped giving me business. So now I have a threat to my very existence as a company. So
And you kind of had to rebuild from scratch.
now they delinked, we delinked from each other. They went their way because they were in 32 countries and they could afford it. They were a huge company.
Correct.
I was a small boy, becoming very ambitious. And I now found that my best clients had deserted me.
In the present, in the process, you lost
in the process, depending too much on the merger, I lost what I had in my hand. Now, I can either roll, fold up and cry and blame the merger, that, the merger was wrong, they didn't do it, he was wrong, and he did this and I did that. And either I do play the blame game, or I do the only logical, honorable thing that I can think of is to go back to my clients and say to them, I am sorry.
And this was the difficult thing, but
This was the difficult thing, but the right thing to do.
the right thing to do.
So I, along with one of the girls in my team, who was my client relationship manager, a very nice girl, both of us took it upon ourselves that we will make a list and go to every single client that we have in Qatar and outside of Qatar and say to them, please forgive us. We erred. And we need your business. If you can trust us one more time, please do. I promise you, and I'm not lying, I think for 3 months, we visited 3, 4 clients every day.
Wow.
Every day, non-stop. And then followed it up by emails, followed it up by messages. Okay?
But it takes courage to admit your mistake.
And not only that, I went to people and not only said that I'm sorry, I said, I'm sorry, will you forgive me? Will you forgive me? I didn't send my business development manager, okay, now come on, you start developing business. No, I took it on me. I'm the one who made the decision to merge.
You took the ownership.
I am the one who took the decision to merge. I am the one who took the decision to demerge. Okay? I went and apologized. What happened was that every single client came back. Every single client came back to me. So I had about, at that point in time, 2012, 2014, I'm talking about 2014. 2014, I had about 50 odd clients in Qatar. The rest were outside of Qatar. Not one said to me, Dr. Shaukat, you became too big for your boots. So, thank you very much. When we need you, we'll call you. No. Every single one of them said, Dr. Shaukat, we know you, we trust you. We were very surprised that Dr. Shaukat lost interest in working with us. We thought you lost interest in working with us because we just felt ignored. And that is how I again picked and built it back.
What an
and then
amazing journey of rebound.
I went to the Sheikha and I said to the Sheikha, I said, Sheikha, we are back.
Yeah.
We are back. So, and this all period coincided with with my wife's passing away. She had been sick for a long time and she was on life support system for 11 years. Okay? No, 12 years. She was on life support system. She could not breathe, eat, do anything. She was attached with machines. But she could smile and she had the best smile in the world. Okay? And I absolutely love her, absolutely loved her, absolutely love her. And I consider myself very lucky that I got to love her twice. Once when she was well and once when she was not well. How many people get that opportunity to love their wives? I got it twice. So I am a lucky person. And it was during those days that she passed away And I remember I had a training of 69 people the next morning. I sat down. I had to take her to for her burial to the home country.
Yeah.
I sat down by her casket with my laptop at the airport because the plane was 4 hours for the plane to take off, and I was at the airport with the casket. I sat down at the airport and sent an email to 69 people saying a personal emergency necessitates me to leave the country for only 48 hours. I will be back. In the meantime, the office will return you your money. And then we'll fix a new date. I came back. Not one person took back the money. 69 people said no because the office told them what happened, why Dr. Shaukat had to leave. Not one person took the money back. So this is how you build your credibility. This is how you build your reputation.
Honesty. You were honest with your clients.
You got to be upfront. You got to tell them. I could have gone and let the office tell them. I sent them personal notes, sitting at the airport, sending out emails, saying to them, I apologize to you. You see, there is great power when you say to someone that I apologize, I'm sorry.
Yes.
There's great power in these two words.
Correct.
And I remember reading somewhere long time back, which I use in my training to my students. If you are good and you deserve what you have got, you will become humble. If you are not good and you get what you have got through wasta,
Shortcut.
you will become shortcuts. You will become arrogant. So if you don't deserve what you have got, you are arrogant. If you deserve what you have got, you are humble. And to be humble requires character.
Correct.
So this is how the training programs, you have to not only give skills to the people, you have to give attitude to the people. You have to change their attitude. You have to. Now people tell me, can you change attitude in a one-day course? You can't change. I promise you I can. And I'll tell you how. Can I have your pen, please?
Yeah, sure. Here you go.
Thank you. Now, I'll just show you with this. Imagine that this is a vegetable called okra. Okra. Yeah? Lady finger. Okra. I'm at Family Food Center. And I'm buying vegetable. Okay? So I see a woman in front of me at the pile of okra. Okay? And she takes the okra, she breaks it from the top. Click. And if it doesn't make the click sound, she keeps it back. Picks up another one. Click. Keeps it back. Click. Keeps it back. So I told her, excuse me, madam, why are you doing this? She said, you don't know? I said, no. She said, because you can tell if it is fresh or not. See, she picked up another one. She missed the point completely, what I was trying, she picked up another one and she broke it. Click. And she said, see, it made a sound. Now you have to break it. When you break it, you watch it and you hear it. So this is fresh. And the other one is not fresh. So I said, and you can take the fresh. She said to me. I said, so what about you picking up the fresh one? Then I come behind you. And I get all the ones that are not fresh and broken by you. Do you think, madam, that is a good thing? And do you think that I should then buy? And then I left. And she was looking at me, horrified. Her face was, it was like she didn't know what to say. And she looked at me and I walked away. I promise you, I'm not lying to you. Maybe 4 or 5 minutes later, I heard somebody behind me. I looked back. She was there. And she said, I am sorry. I will never do it again. She doesn't know me. She doesn't know who I am. But I changed her attitude in that 2 seconds of interaction.
Lesson.
Yes, you can change somebody's attitude. Why not? but you have to be willing to try, and not everybody's attitude you can change.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, you have to be willing to take the hit. I travel almost 20 days in a month. I'm traveling somewhere. I almost always, I hope Qatar Airways is not hearing this and Emirates Airlines is not hearing this, but almost always I get upgraded. So now I have stopped buying business class ticket. I buy economy class.
Yeah.
But what I do is that from the time I meet the first person in uniform, I keep saying, it's very kind of you. Very nice of you to help me. I'm sorry to be putting you through this trouble. I keep telling them, and then I would say, I understand you're doing a really stressful job. You know, everybody expects the best from you, but you're doing a great job. And I will make sure. What happens is by the time I reach the ultimate place where I'm boarding, this girl has told the other one and told the other one, and I get upgraded by when I land into the flight. Now, in case she hasn't told, I turn on the charm when I am inside the plane. When they say to me, welcome, sir, I say to them, I thank you. Such a wonderful plane, such a wonderful atmosphere.
Such wonderful people.
Such good people. And they compliment me on my dress, and I compliment me. I love this uniform of yours. It looks so smart on you. By the time I go and sit in row number 297H, somebody will come and tell me, excuse me, sir, you have been upgraded, and take me right up the front. It's an attitude. You change the attitude by the way you behave.
Correct.
If I go there thinking that the world owes me a living, the world owes me comfort. No, thank you very much. Nobody owes anybody anything in this planet. But you have to be willing to go that route and be nice to the other person in order for the other person to react nicely to you.
Yeah.
And it's always you who has to take the lead. Don't wait for someone else to take the lead.
Exactly.
They don't care who you are. They don't care who you are. You could be the king of Macedonia. They don't care. So it's the way you behave. It's the way you conduct yourself that people then look at you from a different angle. And then they behave with you accordingly.
That's absolutely amazing, Dr. Shaukat. I think our conversation can go on and on for hours. And there are so many leadership lessons one can actually learn from you and from your life. But I would like to go back to your life story. If you were to actually rewind, what would you change? Any regrets?
Any regrets? Oh, wow. This is a question that is so loaded with so many angles to it. But frankly speaking, if I look back, there's only one regret, that I'm not Superman. And if I was Superman, I would turn the world counterclockwise and bring back, like in the movie, the first original Superman movie, Superman turns, his girlfriend dies in an accident, and he turns the world counterclockwise and goes into the world before the accident and saves his girlfriend. So if I could be Superman, I would actually turn the world counterclockwise and save my wife, and save my father from being killed in that war, and save my family from being destroyed. My personal actions, I learned so much from each one of them that I wouldn't change anything. It made me stronger. It made me look at life so closely that I'm not scared of anything. I'm not afraid of anything. I thrive on challenges. I thrive on adversities, if I may say so. But if I could, if there is a regret, and the regret is I'm not Superman, I would then definitely go back in time, turn the world counterclockwise, and bring my wife back. Yeah, but that is not possible. So regrets, I really have none. Could I have done things better? Yes, I could have done things better. Could I? But no regrets. But yes, could I have done things better? Yes, sure. Could I have learned more languages? I already speak 7 languages, but could I have learned more? Yes. Could I have been? Could I have done few other things in a different way? Yes, certainly. But regrets, no. I don't think I have any regrets. I have lived a very uh, uh, eventful life and enjoyed and suffered through so many things, but always came back stronger than where I had found myself. So, frankly speaking, at the risk of sounding conceited, uh, forgive me for saying so, but no regrets. Improvement, definitely. Uh, Taken a different course of action, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's amazing. And um, it's great to hear that despite of all the challenges and struggles that you have been through, having seen the highs and lows, you're still satisfied with how your life story actually. And certainly, yes, there is always room for improvement, and that's also a great message actually that you are giving out. That always reflect and see where you could have actually improve or how you could actually improve. As we take this towards the conclusion, I think I want to ask you a question about the country that we call home. I mean, you have lived across different countries, you've worked across different continents, but why do you call Qatar home? I can see that you have lived more than a decade, maybe approximately 2 decades in
Two
Qatar.
decades, 20 years.
Exactly.
20
So,
years.
so why Qatar?
18 years. No, 20 years. 20 years. 20 years to be exact. Uh, uh, you know, uh, I've lived in different countries and I've worked in different countries. I've studied in different countries. And every country has good points and not so good points. Why do I love Qatar? I not because I'm sitting here and I have a visa at stake. No, it's not that. I've been a resident of different countries. I'm a permanent resident of 3 countries. I can go live there, no issues. Having said that, Qatar, where else can I go and find that my daughter or my son can go out at the age when we landed here? They were young. They can go out and not be molested, not be touched. They can go to at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock in the night to Pizza Hut or to McDonald's or to Starbucks, and nobody bothers them. I can leave my car unlocked with my money inside or my passport inside and come back and not a thing has been touched, right? I cannot, I, I cannot do this in other countries. I cannot do it in other countries. Yeah. This is one. The second thing, where in the world where I've been here 20 years, not once has anybody asked me for a bribe. Okay? Not once has anybody asked me for a kickback. Right? I work in 11 countries with Qatar Center for Career Development. I work in 11 countries. Almost all of them, somebody would ask for some favor. Somebody would ask for some kind of a payback. I've never been asked for 1 penny in kickback in this country. Right? 1 penny. A single. For kickback. So where else would I find that? So everything, as long as you work according to the law, nobody bothers you. Everything is smooth. Where else am I going to get that? I remember that I was in a country where I went to do some work, and after I had done the work, I was invited out for dinner, and they asked me pretty much the same question, and they said, "Why do you always talk about Qatar?" And I said that I have been to many countries. One country where I feel that I can stay without, as long as I'm doing my work, as long as I'm doing my work clean, nobody bothers me, nobody checks me. Where will I get that kind of freedom? Where will I get that kind of freedom? In some of the best countries of the world, I'm still a little black boy. Okay? I'm still a little black boy. I have money invested there, I have houses there, I have business there, and I'm still a little black boy. Okay, nobody tells me on my face, but you can see it. One doesn't need a PhD to figure out. Here, I've never felt alienated. Never. Right? So that is why Qatar is special to me. My wife got the best medical treatment here. Okay? The best medical treatment. And I'm so grateful to Hamad Hospital and the nurses of Hamad Hospital who were God sent, absolutely God sent. Everything on time, everything done. Okay? What did I have to pay? Nothing. Nothing. Compared to what I would have paid in any other country of the world. So this is why Qatar is special to me.
I mean, personally, myself, I've stayed my life here for over more than 24 years. I think besides the security, peace, and besides the fact that people are really great and welcoming here, it's also the fact that Qatar for me has been a land of opportunities.
Yes,
Exactly.
definitely.
So I think
Definitely.
we are blessed to be here, and we are blessed to have actually received the opportunities from these countries and to have made a little bit of contribution. So I can attest to what you said because I've been here myself for so many years. I think as we go further, I have so many questions, to be very honest, going at the back of my mind, but I have to cut this short. So I'm going to end this with the last question. You have seen the highest highs and the lowest lows in your life. What legacy at this age do you want to leave behind?
Ooh. First of all, I am too young to die. So there is no legacy now. Because I've so much to do. I have no time to die. Heaven can wait. But having said that, yes, I would only, I have said this to my son. This is what my father said to me. This is what I said to my son. I would like to be remembered as an officer and a gentleman. I don't want any other accolade. I don't want anything. People should, when they talk, they should say that he was a gentleman. And what is a gentleman? A gentleman does not lie. A gentleman does not cheat, right? A gentleman does not cut corners, does not take shortcuts. Okay? A gentleman ensures that he's courteous and respectful of other people. So, and an officer is a gentleman. So the only thing that I would like to leave behind is that somebody talks about me, they say, oh, Dr. Shaukat, an officer and a gentleman.
And you truly are a gentleman.
That is it. And I would take that as the greatest compliment. I told my son, write it on my grave when I die. Here lies Shaukat Chandna, a gentleman. Yeah. But my dad told me this. And that, it is. And my father also said one thing which I would share with your audience, which is very important. And I followed that. And maybe in some future date, we can again expound on that further. Up to a certain period of your life, you can say that I did not have the opportunity to go to such and such school. I did not have the opportunity to get a good job. I did not have the opportunity of having a father. I did not have the opportunity of this. I did not have the luck. Or up to a certain period of your life, you can blame the rest of the world for whatever you are. But after that, it's who you are that counts. Whether your father was a rich man or you were very wealthy and you are not so now, nobody cares about your father. They care what you are today. Whether you were poor and now people don't care whether you are poor. What are you today? So whatever you make of yourself today is what will count. In Hollywood and in Bollywood and all the movie industry, they have a saying, you are as good as your last hit. Okay. So whatever we do, we are as good as our last hit. If I leave behind people who are trained, my students, people talk about, we have read in history that the kings and the world leaders wanted to live on forever. The pharaohs wanted to live on forever. Cleopatra wanted to live on forever, and everybody wanted. Well, you live forever if your children or your students or people who are with you are following your ideals, are taking your teachings or your message forward. You are living forever.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't died.
Your good deeds live forever.
Yeah, they just live forever. Oh, and your bad deeds as well.
Exactly.
And your bad deeds as well. So you be very careful what you're going to leave behind, because both of them will define you. So I would rather make sure that my students, the people that I talk to, I must have in the last 40 years, I think, spoken to more than 1 million people in different countries. And I can count 121 of them who are certified millionaires in dollars, and 12 of them who are certified billionaires, okay, in dollars. They were my students, or they were people who attended my courses, or people I did consultation with. And it's not their money that will define me. It's not their wealth that will define me. It's what they are going to do with that money and what they're going to do with that wealth that will define me. Dr. Shaukat, that is what will define me. It will not be defined. Somebody was not going to say he made $1 billion. But that's not my legacy. That's his hard work. He made $1 billion. But what he does with that $1 billion is what I taught him. What he does with that $1 million that he has got is what defines.
It is what you do with the money that
It's what you do with that money.
defines you.
It's what you will do with that money. I remember doing a business plan for a lady who was my Turkish language teacher, and she said, "You have to meet my husband. He's the most ill-disciplined. He's a very talented person, but ill-disciplined." So I took him out for lunch, and we had lunch together. And on a piece of tissue paper, I drew a business plan for him. Right? His name is Bora Gunduzyeli, and one day he will be listening to this. One of the nicest people that you will meet in your life. He's a billionaire now. All right? He's in Turkey. He's a Turk. He's a billionaire now. And he was working in Shell as the youngest financial controller. And the business plan that I made him, with that he started his business. And today he has an empire. Okay? But it's that friendship, it's what he does with that money that will define him and me both. The money he could have made maybe another 10 different ways. So the money is not what's going to be left. But he is recognized widely by anybody who meets him as an absolute gentleman, always in your corner, always willing to help you. You phone him right now and tell him, "I want to meet such and such." He will arrange a meeting for you. He's one of those people who will always go out of his way to help people. That is what I leave behind.
All right. Exactly. I think no one remembers billionaires in the history in good words. Everyone remembers those who have actually contributed to the society, contributed to the development of others, or transformed nations.
Absolutely.
So I think it's a great message. Having said that, we will now hit our next round. I mean, I still have so many loads of questions. I think we need several hours to actually do that. But I'm sure in the future we're going to have more sessions and sittings with you. But now I want to wrap up and conclude. And we have a final round, which usually goes towards the end of the podcast, which we call rapid fire segment.
Right.
So you actually answer any question that gets asked in one word or two.
Okay.
And it's okay to share your experience. So let's begin. The first question that I have for you is money or legacy? What matters more today?
I think we just talked about it, legacy. What you leave behind.
That's phenomenal. One book that changed your life?
How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Great.
My father's
I'm going to note that down.
Yeah, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Uh, uh, Dale Carnegie. I think my father. I still have the original one with me in my library. It was my dad's, and my dad firmly believed in it. And that was my dad's favorite book to pass on to friends. Yeah.
Great.
How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Great. Best advice you have ever received?
Depend on yourself. Never expect anything from anybody. You will never be disappointed in life.
Do not keep any expectations.
Do not keep expectations. You see, in the army, I was taught that there is no thank you. I don't know whether the army still follows it or not. By the way, I left the army in 1984, long before you were born. But in my seniors taught me there is no sorry and there's no thank you. No thank you, because what somebody else does for you is his duty. He's doing it for you. It's his duty to help you. It's his duty to support you. It's his duty to teach you. So no thank you. And no sorry, because if you do something wrong, be ready for punishment. There's no thing that I'm sorry I did it, please forgive me. You did it, now be ready to suffer a little. Okay? So having said that, yes, I think.
Great advice. Most underrated leadership quality?
Integrity. It's underrated like you can't believe. It's underrated like you can't believe.
Especially in the current world, the present world that we live.
If I do not have integrity, how do I face my children every day? If I don't have personal integrity, because personal integrity then translates into business integrity. But if you don't have personal integrity,
you carry your personal identity into the business world.
And it's when you talk to leaders, they will talk about ethics. They don't talk about integrity.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at most of the 10 qualities that ethics, honesty, nobody mentions integrity.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a huge difference between taking a portion of integrity, calling it honesty, and taking a portion, calling it ethics, than integrity. Integrity is doing things when nobody is looking.
Mm-hmm.
That's integrity. Mm-hmm. I don't do things because, I'm not talking about me, I'm just expounding on integrity. I don't do things because what will people say? And whether I look good or I look bad. But I do things because that's the right thing to do. That's just the right thing to do. Now, if it brings me something, a setback, I should be prepared for it. But I should not compromise on my personal integrity.
Absolutely.
Because if that is gone, everything will go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything will go with it.
Exactly.
But if your personal integrity is cast iron,
mm-hmm.
then nothing can beat you.
Great. Absolutely fantastic. What's the secret behind your young look? Good genes or good habits?
Oh boy. That's a tough one. If I was Donald Trump, I would say good genes. But if I think like Nelson Mandela, I would say good habits. It is ultimately habits. You are what you do. You become
what you do.
I don't remember who it was who said it, but he's somebody, in the internet, you will find 20 people who said it. Gandhi said it, and Shaq O'Neal said it, and they will just put everything over there. But you are what you think. You become what you think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You become what you think. So if you think that you are young, and I think I'm young, I never ever think of dying. I will die. Why do I have to think about it? I have to die. If everybody has to die. So why must I waste my time thinking about it? When I look at chat groups on WhatsApp, and it's written over there, brothers, we are in the last stages of our life, and because we are in the last stages of our life, we must be. No. What do you mean we are in the last stage? How do you know? That's up to God.
Exactly.
Maybe you are 60 now, you live up to another 60, 120.
Mm-hmm.
What last stage? You will outlive your son and your daughter and your wife and maybe another 3 wives. Why are you so pessimistic and so morbid? So I never think I'm old. When I'm with young people, I joke like a young person. When I'm with older people, I talk in a different way. I adjust according to my audience. I run around. I go to the gym every day. I go for my 5-kilometer walk every day. And I run 1 kilometer every day. Okay. I never take a second helping. I control my food. I eat whatever I like. No health problems.
But you're active.
But I keep myself very, very active. I still cook my own food.
Great.
Okay. I still wash my own dishes. I do everything myself. And I feel happy that way and I feel good that way. So when somebody tells me that, you are, the other day a young lady said to me that, sir, even at this age, and I said, why do you start a conversation even at this age? What do you mean even at this age?
Yeah.
At this age, I can outrun you. I can outwalk you. Okay. You are putting on weight, whereas I am absolutely fit. Why? What at this age?
Yeah.
So she started laughing and she said that, sir, I didn't mean it. And I said, no, I'm just pulling your leg. But yes, and I change my dress accordingly. I don't dress like old people. I will not wear a jacket 2 sizes too big, or a trouser that has seen better days. I make sure that if whatever I wear, whatever I eat, matches my mood. And my mood is always upbeat.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm wearing these. Somebody was asking me, why are you wearing these? I said, well, what can I do? A lady gave me this, so I wore it. Another lady gave me this, I wore it. I can't disappoint the ladies. He said, what about this? I said, this was given to me by my son, so I have to wear this also. Yeah. You have to joke. You have to, and sense of humor. You must have a sense of humor. People forget. Nowadays, people don't even laugh. You go and talk to someone, they don't laugh, they don't smile. Everybody is so scared of talking, of smiling. I have to tell at the supermarket, thank you very much. And so I say, you are the one who should thank me. I'm the one bringing money to you.
Correct.
But I'm the one thanking you. Would you like to smile? And then they smile as if I'm going to steal the smile. The smile is so fleeting. And I say, you know something? You look so lovely. When you smile, you should do it more often. And I know they would be saying the same thing as that dirty man in New York, that what a weird bastard. But I don't mind it. I live my life the way I want to. I enjoy it. I live this way. Okay. Yeah. And I am perfectly happy with the way I am. Yeah. So as long as you're happy with the way you are.
You have amazing story and lessons to actually share. So it's good habits, actually.
Good habits.
Exactly. Okay. Next one, sharp suits or sharp mindset? What really makes a man stand out?
Mindset is necessary. And if you have a sharp mindset, you will have a sharp suit as well.
Both. So.
You will have a sharp suit as well, because your mindset will keep on telling you, my daughter calls me Valentino because I don't let her get out of the house without wearing proper clothes. When we went to Carnegie Mellon, I forced her to go with me to a shop and buy a pinstripe suit. I said, you're going to the best university in the world. You should dress like a future leader. So I made her buy a pinstripe suit and took her to the university. And lo and behold, all the professors were wearing jeans and torn shirts and torn t-shirts. And she said, Dad, I'm so embarrassed. I will never, ever listen to you. But today, when she is the head of external communication for Google in London, she tells me, Dad, you are right. Dad, you are right. But at that time, she literally cried at the university. She said, Dad, I'm feeling so embarrassed. They will laugh at me later on once you go away. Look at them. Look at the professors. They are dressed in, slashed jeans and t-shirts and you have made me wear a pinstripe suit. Always dream big. Always dream big. You want to stay young, dream big.
Think big and dream big.
Dream big. Think big, dream big. I took her with me to New York to take her to Carnegie Mellon. I took her in front of Trump Tower. Mr. Trump was not the president of the United States at that time. He was just a businessman and a talk show host. I took her in front of Trump Tower, made her stand there, took a picture. I said, your dream should be as big as the Trump Tower.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have a small dream. I will think I wasted my money on your education. You're going to the best university in the world. Now aspire to be on top of the world. Now, I see in every achievement of hers, I get younger and younger and younger.
You planted that seed, the mindset.
The mindset. So mindset and suit. Yeah. If you have a good mindset, you'll have a good suit.
Yeah. Okay. Next, social media or the newspaper?
I'm very old fashioned. I still like to read the newspaper, but no, social media is very, very necessary, very important for the younger generation. That's where the world is. That's where life is. That's where information is. So social media, definitely. People like me, we are at a disadvantage that we don't utilize social media fully. But I still, sitting in a plane, I would still love to read a newspaper.
Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of people also, or in fact, in the present world, currently, many people do not use social media for the right use or in moderation.
Yes.
That's something that needs to be seen. People are spending hours and hours
absolutely
on just trying to consume content.
Absolutely.
Instead of actually creating content or learning from the right content.
Absolutely.
Your success built by failure or built by strategy?
No, by learning from all the ups and downs. There was, frankly speaking, if I say I strategized, I would be lying to you. I never strategized. I went by my gut feeling. I went by my passion to do something. And eventually I found that even if I failed, I was still a step ahead of where I had started. So I think while the strategy is a good thing, while you must strategize, but if you keep on, there is a saying that says that paralysis by analysis. So don't paralyze yourself by analyzing too much. So go and do it. Acta, non-verba.
Yeah.
Take the action. In the army, I was taught that if you must attack first. So that if your attack does not succeed, you still have time to recover, pull back your resources, and then get in again. But if you keep on waiting for the best opportunity, the best time, it will never come. It will never happen. There will always be something. Did you ever predict COVID? Did we even think of it? No.
It was one of the experience. And anyone who has lived would have just seen it once in their lifetime.
One in a lifetime. But we never thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
But COVID then prepared us for so many other things.
Correct.
Right?
The world changed.
The world changed. So I learned from falling down, stumbling, hitting the brick wall. I learned from all this. And I still do.
And your story indeed is inspirational.
I still do.
Last question.
Sir.
Qatar in one word.
Qatar in one word, home. Home.
Great. Absolutely
home.
great.
There's no other word for it. And everything associated with being home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
great.
Absolutely.
Dr. Shaukat, thank you so much for being brutally honest and inspiring.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me.
What I'm taking away from this conversation is simple. Success is challenging and it's messy. It is built on hard work, dedication, and perseverance. And sometimes, of course, it is built on faith when nothing else is left, as you saw the failures. I think to our audience, if this episode has touched you or made you rethink your path, then share it with anyone who may actually need it. Until next time, keep shining, keep growing, and keep leading.